the NIV has twisted a verse. When you read Acts chapter 8, and the eunuch said, "See, here is water. What does hinder me to be baptized?" And Philip said, "If thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest." And he answered and said, "I believe that Jesus Christ is God." This verse 37 is not in the NIV. You know why? Because this verse destroys what happened in the Catholic Church.
What you've just done is you established to us even further how your book is corrupted, because we've got hundreds of thousands of people who are reading the NIV every day as the word of God, believing that this is from the Creator. Some quote-unquote what you call translations have verses, the others don't have them.
How was the Quran originally recorded?
First, I should say that the Quran has been preserved right from the very beginning by memorization. I already mentioned that my daughter has memorized a certain passage from the Quran and that young kids have memorized the entire Quran. This is a tradition that goes on today and dates back to 1400 years ago.
Very simply, if memorization preserved the Quran, then why was it that memorizers writing from memory wrote conflicting Qurans, with some having additional verses that the others did not? Furthermore, I also documented that one of the memorizers, Ubay bin Ka'b, called the master of Quranic reciters, had 2 extra surahs that he claimed was revealed from God. Where are those surahs? Finally, Ibn Masud, who claimed to have memorized over 70 surahs in the presence of the Prophet of Islam, claimed that chapter 1 of the Quran and chapter 113 and 114, although revealed, were not to be part of the text itself and only had 111 chapters. So if you're talking about memorization, far from it, they couldn't get it right from the beginning.
In Sunni tradition, Uthman, the third caliph, is credited with compiling and canonizing the standard version of the Quran, which he then ordered to destroy all other versions. This act was done to ensure a single, authoritative text for the Muslim community. Uthman, the third caliph, is historically recognized for standardizing the Quran. Prior to Uthman, the Quran was not yet in a single, standardized text. Various individuals and communities had their own versions. Uthman's effort ensured the Quran's preservation by establishing a single, authoritative version, known as the Uthmanic Codex. Once the Uthmanic Codex was established, Uthman ordered the destruction of other versions of the Quran that differed from it. This act was seen as essential for maintaining unity and the correct recitation of the Quran within the Muslim community.
The purpose was to prevent confusion and ensure that the Muslims adhered to the single, standardized version of the Quran. Some hadith mention Uthman's role in standardizing the Quran and the subsequent destruction of other versions. Many of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, including Zayd ibn Thabit and Ali ibn Abi Talib, accepted and supported Uthman's efforts. While there were those who opposed the changes, such as Abdullah ibn Masud, he later came to accept the Uthmanic Codex.
Well, I guess this lays this argument to bed. If you want to say the Bible's been reinterpreted over time, fine. But don't act like the Quran is perfectly preserved. It's not.